All right, everyone. We are going to start on a new unit, and this is going to be a unit on equations. So we are going to call this Chapter E, and so we're going to call this Section E.1. It's not going to be a long chapter. It's just a couple lessons that we're going to do so that when we move into Chapter 4, after winter break, we have some foundation. And this is our intro to equations. Let's take a look at just something we've done before, evaluating an expression, x plus 8, when x equals 5. So when we evaluate, we substitute in the value for our variable. So if x is 5, we substitute 5 in there. 5 plus 8 is 13. And we follow our order of operations if needed. Here we only had one operation. And remember, when we evaluate, we're finding the numerical answer. So this was an expression, like I said. It's an expression because it contains operations and numbers or variables. So what is an equation then? An equation is a math sentence that contains an equal sign. And it equates, or it compares in an equality way two expressions or an expression and a value. So for example, equations that we've used before would be when we did the properties. So we did like 6 times 1 equals 6. This is an equation. It's telling us that the left-hand side, 6 times 1, is equal to the right-hand side, 6. You could also have an equation with variables in it. So you could have something like, let's go back up to our warm-up, x plus 8 equals 13. So in this case, we have an expression, x plus 8, with a variable in it equaling to something else. And then we're going to talk about this type of equation in a second. You could also have variables on both sides of your equation. So you could have something like x plus 8 equals 2 times x. When does that happen? So these are all types of equations. So when we have an equation with a variable in it, like the second two examples I gave you, then we are looking for the value of our variable, which is called a solution. So a solution is a value that makes the statement true. Today we're not going to be explicitly solving equations, but we're just going to be testing solution values. That is going to be our main idea for the day. So let's take a look at how we do that. So we have an equation down here, and we want to know if x equals 5 is a solution to the equation x plus 8 equals 12. Now, another way that I think about an equation, I think about an equation like a teeter-totter or a seesaw. Okay, the equal sign is kind of in the middle, and it's totally balanced. So if you've ever been on a seesaw where you and the person on the opposite side were the same weight, right, you kind of both float in the middle of the air. And so we're saying that this x plus 8 equals this side 12. Okay, so that's why we're looking for that perfectly balanced value, and that's what a solution is. So if we take a look at x plus 8 equals 12, and we want to know if 5 is the solution. So what we're going to do is we're going to, just like we did in our warm-up, we're going to substitute 5 in for x, bring down anything we didn't know, and I like to put a little question mark here because I don't actually know if this is true. Does 5 plus 8 equal 12? Okay, it's like I'm asking myself a question. And so just like I did on my warm-up, I'm not going to do the math sideways. I'm not going to go sideways. I'm going to go underneath, like I'm evaluating an expression. So I do 5 plus 8 is 13, and I bring this value down 12, and then I look at this and I'm like, does 13 equal 12? Is that true? No. It's false. 13 does not equal 12. So is x equals 5 a solution? No, it is not. Okay, so not x equals 5 is not a solution. And by the way, my abbreviation of the word solution is SOLN. My abbreviation of equation is EQN. Let's take a look at a second one. Same equation, x plus 8 equals 12. Is x equals 4 the solution or a solution? Some equations actually have more than one solution. So is x equals 4 a solution to x plus 8 equals 12? Let's take a look. So we substitute 4 in for x. Again, we're asking ourselves a question. The way we show the work is important. It's an algebraic way of showing the work. We are using arithmetic because we're doing math, but this is a very algebraic process. Like I said, we do the math down here. 4 plus 8, bring the answer down 12. Bring this side of the equation down 12. Does 12 equal 12? Why, yes, it does. So x equals 4 is a solution because, again, it's a value that makes the statement true. 12 equals 12 is a true statement. 13 equals 12, the other one we did, was a false statement. That's not true. Let's take a look at a couple more complicated ones. So these ones you might be able to do in your head, which is fine, but I do want you to show the work. So let's take a look at some that we might not be able to do in our head. Okay. Is x equals negative 3 a solution to x plus 4 equals 3x minus 2? So this is an equation where we have variables on both sides. Everywhere we see an x, we are going to put our negative 3. And this is also a good time to review working with our integers. So we want to know if negative 3 plus 4 is equal to 3x is 3 times negative 4 minus 2. So we're going to follow our order of operations for each side. So negative 3 plus 4 is 1. Remember, a negative plus a positive, I subtract. On this side, I'm going to only just do one thing. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Bring down my minus 2. When I do negative 12 minus 2, remember, that's really negative 12 plus negative 2. I'm going to add the opposite there. Again, I'm still questioning. Does 1 equal negative 12 plus negative 2? And then finally, does 1 equal negative 14? No, it doesn't. Okay? So is x equals negative 3 a solution? No. Again, showing all the work is important because it's your algebraic reasoning here. It's kind of like you're like a lawyer, right? And you're trying to prove your case. And so you don't just tell the judge, hey, my client is innocent, because what is the judge going to say? The judge is going to say, prove it. So this is your proof, okay? This is a mathematical proof. It's demonstrating your reasoning. Let's take a look at one more value for this particular equation. So we're going to substitute 2 in for x and see if that value is a solution. So is 2 plus 4 equal to 3 times 2 minus 2? 2 plus 4 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6 minus 2. And 6 minus 2 is 4. Is that a solution? Nope, it's not. So neither of these ended up being a solution to this particular equation. One more, and we are going to review this in class as well. So which equation below has a solution of y is equal to 5? So I have a couple different types of equations down here, and let's just take a look at each one and test and see if we have a solution value of 5. You can go ahead and pause the video if you want and do these on your own and then come back and take a look at my answer, or you can keep going and follow along with me. So for equation A, we have 2y minus 4 equals 10, and we're testing if 5 is the solution. So is 2 times 5 minus 4 equal to 10? 2 times 5 is 10. Again, remember, I bring everything down. Answers come down, not across. They go down. On this side again, 10 minus 4 is 6. Does 6 equal 10? No. So A is at y equals 5 is not a solution for equation A. For equation B, is 5 minus 3 equal to 7 minus 5? Well, on this side, 5 minus 3 is 2. On this side, 7 minus 5 is 2. Does 2 equal 2? Yes. So B is a choice, or B is an answer here. That equation has a solution of y equals 5. And let's look at our last one, y squared equals 10. So yeah, equations can have squareds, so there can be exponents. There's lots of different types of equations out there, and they all represent and model different types of problems, which hopefully we can get into as well. So our base is 5, so is 5 squared equal to 10? So remember, 5 squared is really 5 times 5. It's not 5 times 2, and that is 25. Does 25 equal 10? No, it does not. So this is also not does not have a solution of y equals 5, and so our only answer to this question is equation B. That has a solution of y equals 5. So again, this was an introduction to equations and their solutions. And that, when we come back together, we're going to be looking at how to then solve equations. So we're going to start out with really basic equations, and it's going to be great. So thanks for watching this video.